This video is on VLSI design flow, layout and stick diagram. First let us start with VLSI design flow. In any VLSI design flow, this is the basic flow that is to be followed. Initially we need to enter into the design in which it has to be written in VHDL or Verilog. Later on, after once the design is entered, we need to perform the logic synthesis, which means that once the Verilog code is written, the synthesis is to be performed, which creates the netlist. Okay, so after performing the logic synthesis, we need to go for system partitioning, in which the netlist that is generated during the synthesis should be partitioned accordingly, such that it has to be placed in a specific place. It has to be planned accordingly for the fault planning. So after the system partitioning, we are entering into the pre-simulation layout for the system partitioning. If it satisfies the system partitioning logic, it is not necessary to go for once again the design entry, else it has to alter the design, and then or we need to perform the logic realiteration, logic synthesis realiteration to perform a best system partitioning. Once the system partitioning is completed, we are entering into the floor planning, where the partition blocks are placed in such a way that it has to occupy the minimum space in an integrated circuits that we are going to fabricate. Once the floor planning is completed, we need to perform the placement in which where those blocks are to be placed inside your chip that has the standard cell designs. So after the placement is performed, the routing has to be done, which means that how these blocks are to be routed will be performed. Okay, once the routing is completed, we are going for circuit extraction, and then we are going for post layout simulation. If everything is okay, it is not necessary to go for floor planning once again, else we need to do floor planning, placement, routing, circuit extraction, and once again we need to perform post layout simulation. Once the routing is perfectly done, we can get and fabricate an IC. We can give the IC for fabrication. So from the design entry to floor planning, we can say it is a logic design in which plays a vital role, and for floor routing, placement, floor planning, circuit extraction, it comes under your physical design. This is a basic for VLSI design flow for any VLSI design engineers. Next we are going to discuss on gate layout. The layout can be very time consuming. Here we are going to design gates to fit together nicely, and we are going to build a library of standard cells which follows a technology rule. Okay, so for the layout, we are going to use standard cell design methodology, where VDD and ground should be standard at a height. Okay, one is at the top, another one is at the bottom, which means that VDD is at the top and ground is at the bottom. And adjacent gates should satisfy the design rules, and NMOS will always be at the bottom and PMOS is always at the top. All gates include well and substrate contacts. This is the basic standard design methodology in any gate design. Let us consider a CMOS NOT gate. We already discussed about the realization of CMOS inverter, in which this is your PMOS and this is your NMOS, is it? Okay, in which your input here is X and output here is X bar. Here we are going to give the VD as your input for your source of PMOSFET, and gate of your PMOSFET is connected to input, and drain of your PMOSFET is connected to your output. Similarly for NMOSFET, the gate is connected to input, drain is connected to output, and source of your NMOSFET is connected to ground. Now we are going to draw the layout for this inverter. Is it for VDD, we are going to use the metal which is of blue color, or you can use a slanting lines. So here we are using the blue color lines, and see here for P MOSFET we are using orange color, and for N MOSFET we are using green color. For connecting P MOSFET to the VDD, we are using the contact here. We are using the contact here, that is with represented here as cross mark, and similarly here For N MOSFET that is connected to ground, we are using cross mark. See, for the connection of input, your gate and gate needs to be connected, right? For the connection of this, we are using a polysilicon material that is marked here in red color. So this is a polysilicon material in which the contact is established from P MOSFET and then to the N MOSFET, in which these two are connected and the input is given. See here, the drain of P MOSFET and drain of N MOSFET are interlinked, is it? So in which source is, so this side of P MOSFET is source and this side of P MOSFET is drain, is it? And similarly for N MOSFET, this side of green color is drain and this side of N MOSFET is source. Now we have connected the source to ground and drain of N MOSFET and P MOSFET are interlinked and we are taking our output. So this is done with the help of your metal. This is done with the help of your metal. And see here, in P MOSFET, your P MOSFET should always be in N-bill. That is why here it marked as in a green color and an outer dot layer, dotted lines, is it? And cross here is a contact cut. This is the basic simple layout of your CMOS inverter. And if you consider an alternate layout, what we have discussed here is a vertical layout. See here, your PMOS and NMOS are vertical here and hence your PMOS drawn here is in vertical form. Is it? The orange color here is in vertical form and green color of your MOSFET is in vertical. So this type of layout we can say it is a vertical layout, and another layout is a horizontal layout. See the same connections. See here, the source side, this is actually VD. And this is your drain side and this is your gate side of P MOSFET, and similarly this is your source side, this is your drain side and this is your gate side of your N MOSFET. See here, drain of P MOSFET and drain of N MOSFET are interlinked to get your output, is it? Similarly, gate of P MOSFET and gate of N MOSFET are interlinked to give your input. Source side of N MOSFET is connected to ground and source side of P MOSFET is connected to VDD. The same it is followed here. See, this is VDD and here the blue color is your metal which is used for the connection of VDD, and from here we are making connection to P MOSFET. Is it? Here the P MOSFET is this side is the source side, and in a horizontal layout it is in orange color for your P MOSFET, in which a contact is established between VDD and the source of your P MOSFET. Similarly, P MOSFET drain side is there and this is your gate. Okay, see on your ground side we are using the metal for the connection of ground, and see here there is a contact cut for your NMOS side which is on your source side. Okay, on the drain, on another side it is drain. The line that is drawn here for the gate is a polysilicon material. This is the red color block here is a polysilicon material in which the gate and gate are interlinked. That is considered as the input X, and drain of your P MOSFET and drain of your N MOSFET is interlinked and you are going to get your output X bar. So this is the basic layout of your NOT gate, in which this form of layout can be represented as horizontal layout. Okay, so these are the two different types of layout. Any layout can be followed for your design. Next we are going to discuss the design based on your NAND gate. See, we are going to design the NAND gate, in which here for the 2 input NAND gate, 2 N MOSFET are connected in series and 2 P MOSFETs are connected in parallel. Is it? Here we are taking our output A bar. The same it is represented in your layout. See here, the VDD is utilized here, that is connected with metal, that is represented in blue color. Is it? This is your metal contact. This is your metal for VDD, and VSS also it is metal. So that we can say it is metal 1 contact. That we can say it is a metal 1. So this is your metal 1. Okay. Okay, once the metal 1 is given for VDD and ground, next we need to connect for P MOSFET. Is it? Draw the P MOSFET. Draw the P MOSFET. So that is your orange color. Is it? Now we need to make the connection. See here, the source of your P MOSFET. Is it? And the source of your second P MOSFET are connected to ground. Sorry, are connected to VDD. Is it? Now the source of your P MOSFET A and P MOSFET B are connected to VDD, and drain are interlinked, and that is connected to your output. Is it? So this is connected through your metal. This is also a metal. This blue color are all metal. Okay, now let us come back to the N MOSFET side. See here, you draw the N MOSFET horizontally, which is of green color. See here we are connecting it. We are connecting source to ground of A MOSFET, A N MOSFET. Drain, from the drain output of first N MOSFET, it is connected to the input of source of second N MOSFET, and from the another side it is marked as drain. From there we are taking our output. The same it is marked here. See, this is your source side, this is your drain side, and this is your source side, this is your drain side. Okay, see, the source of your A gate is connected to ground. The same it is drawn here. Is it? The source of your A is connected to ground. Is it? The same it is connected through your contact cut. So next is drain. It is already connected to source. See here, now another gate is drawn, and from the drain side we are taking our output contact cut, and from there we are taking our output A dot B bar. Okay, this is your NAND gate layout. Okay, this form of layout can be represented as horizontal layout. See here, what you have to do is, first you have to draw the metal for VDD and ground. Next we need to draw for P MOSFET. Next we need to draw for N MOSFET. Next you draw your gates A and B. Okay, next you draw your gates A and B. Mark it as A and B. Mark it as A and B. So these are all should be drawn in a corresponding colors, or it can be with the patterns. Okay, here I am marked with colors. You can draw with patterns. Okay, so for simplification I am saying this is diagram, drawing this diagram. This is VDD. Okay, this is your ground. See, this is your ground, and this is your P MOSFET, and this is your N MOSFET. Is it? Now we have drawn the gates of A and B. Now see here, we need to connect for the source of first P MOSFET to VDD. Is it? So here you make a contact. And similarly on another side we need to make a contact. Is it? So this side we make a contact. Once this is done, see, on an N MOSFET this is connected to this side, it should be connected to ground. Okay, on this side we need to take our output. Is it? So this is your output. Let us say it is Y is your output, and in between your A and B we need to take your output. So this is connected to your output. This is a simple representation. Okay, this can be represented in a stick diagram, that we'll discuss it later. So see, first we need to draw VDD ground, then we need to draw PMOS and NMOS, then you draw what are the number of inputs A, B, and if there is C, you draw C also. Then you mark the corresponding connections. So that would be easier for you for the completion of your layout. Okay, this is the basic NAND 2 layout. This is the NAND 3 layout, in which it is following the lambda based rules. See here, this is the patterns we are following. This is the pattern we are following. See, you can draw with colors, or you can also draw with patterns. See here, we have VDD on ground or drawn with the front slanting lines. Is it? Okay, then see, P MOSFET is drawn within your N well. This is your N well. This is your N well. This grey color is your N well. This grey color is your N well. Okay, this grey color is your N well. Within that N well, we are drawing your PMOS. And similarly, on your ground side, the NMOS is connected. This is your PMOS. Okay, as this is the 3 input NAND gate, see, all A, B, C are drawn. On one side, it is connected to VDD, and let us say this is your source side. Similarly, here this is your drain source side for on your N MOSFET. Is it? And remaining all connections, see here, this is also connected to VDD, as this is your NAND 3. And from here we are connecting it to because in this case, if this is source, this is your drain. Okay, this can be a drain because source side should be connected to VDD. So B of source and C of source, because these 3 P MOSFET are to be connected in parallel in NAND 3 input. Okay, hence this would be a source side and this would be a drain side. Okay, it's not necessary this side should always be source. Once if this is connected to VDD, which meant that this should be your source side for your P MOSFET. Okay, that is why here it is altered as see, this side it is drain automatically. Once this side is source, this side is drain for your A gate. Okay, on another side, this side can be a source, but this side should be connected to VDD. If this is connected to VDD, which meant A of drain, A that is P MOSFET gate A of drain is connected to VDD, that is wrong. Is it? See, in the realization we are using 3 input NAND for the P MOSFET connection. For the 3 input NAND gate, your P MOSFET will be connected like this. Is it? A, B and C. Is it? All the 3 P MOSFETs are connected in parallel. See here, I'm marking it as A, B and C. Sorry, it is A, B and C. This is not here. Okay, see here, all the source side of P MOSFET are connected to VDD. That is why, see, if you connect this side to VDD, which meant your drain of A gate will be connected to VDD. That is wrong. That is why we are considering the B gate this side as drain, on another side as source. Okay, similarly, as this side is source, this side it is not necessary, it should always be drain for C MOSFET, C type, C input gate. Okay, so this side can be source because source of your C gate is connected to VDD. That is why this side it is considered as source, and on another side it is considered as drain. Okay, now the connection is to VDD is done. So all the drain side are interlinked and that is connected to your output. Is it? See here, the drain side of A and B and drain side of C are connected to your output Y. This is your output. And if you come back to your N MOSFET side, so this is your A, B and C. Is it? For A gate source, it is connected to ground. From C gate drain, we are taking our output. Remaining all it is understood. See, this side it is source. The drain, the output of drain is connected to the source input of B gate. Output is drain, and this side it is source, and output of drain is connected to VDD, is output. So thus the basic layout connection is done. Once this is done, see how much lambda distance it should be placed. See here, this is of 4 lambda, this is of 4 lambda, and the distance from VDD to ground is of 40 lambda, is of 40 lambda. Is it? This horizontal VDD and ground can be of 32 lambda based on the distances of A, B, C, each of separated with 4 lambda, and corresponding contact cuts should be given correspondingly. That we will discuss it later on. See here, this is your horizontal N and P diffusion strips. Vertical polysilicon gates are followed. A, B, C are your gate polysilicon. Metal 1 VDD to VDD rail to top. See, this is metal 1. This blue color is metal 1. From here, you are connecting VDD to P MOSFET. Similarly, metal 1 ground rail at the bottom. And it is, this size is of 32 by 40 lambda. Okay. And similarly, if you consider, see, for any wiring track, this distance should be of 4 lambda. This distance should be of 4 lambda, which means the width of this wiring is of 4 lambda, and the distance between the two wiring should also follow a 4 lambda. Okay, that is why the wiring track is the space required for a wire, 4 lambda width and 4 lambda space for the neighbor. Hence, a total of 8 lambda pitch is to be followed. See here, this is of 8 lambda. This is of 8 lambda. Is it okay? And see here, similarly for the contact cuts, the same it is used here. And if you consider the will spacing, see, this is wills must be surrounded by transistors by 6 lambda. Okay, this implies 12 lambda between opposite transistor flavors. See here, this is your P MOSFET, this is your N MOSFET. So between your P MOSFET and N MOSFET, there should be a 12 lambda. There should be 12 lambda. So the distance here is, see, between P MOSFET and this wire, you should follow 4 lambda. And this wire length is of 4 lambda. And between your wire length of N and N MOSFET, there should be a 4 lambda. Is it? A total of 12 lambda should be there between your P MOSFET and N MOSFET. And wills must surround transistors by 6 lambda. See, there should be 2 lambda, 2 lambda and 4 lambda. Hence, well should be surrounded by 6 lambda. Okay. And see here, they estimate the area by counting the wire tracks and multiply by 8 to express in lambda. Okay, this is your lambda rule basically followed. And if you come back to your NOR 2 layout, see your for VDD, for NOR 2, your N MOSFET is to be connected in parallel and P MOSFET are to be connected in series. Is it? See, first you draw VDD, then you draw ground, then you draw P MOSFET. See, this is VDD. This is your first step. This is your ground, second step. And this is your P MOSFET, third step. And this is your N MOSFET, fourth step. Okay, then there are two inputs for your NOR gates. Hence, you draw A and B. That is your 5 and 6. Okay, polysilicon material is used, 5 and 6. So once this is done, now you try to draw the contact cuts. See here, for one side it is connected to VDD source side. This is your drain side and this is your source side. This is your drain side. Is it? See, this is your source side of your P MOSFET and this is the drain side of your P MOSFET. First P MOSFET, A gate. And this is the source side of your B P MOSFET and this is the drain side of your P MOSFET where you are connecting it to output. Okay, using metal you are connecting it. Okay, then on your N MOSFET, if you consider, see, this is your source side and this is your source side, and drain are interlinked for both of your N MOSFET and it is connected to your output. So same it is followed here. This is source side and this is source side. Once this is considered source side, this is your drain side and this is your drain side. These two are interlinked through your polysilicon, through your metal, and then you are connecting it to output through these connections. Okay, this is how you need to draw your layout. And various colors are represented here. This is the basics regarding this layout, and next we'll move on to the stick diagram. So stick diagrams are the cartoons of a layout. It shows all the components and does not show the exact placement, transistor size, wire lengths, wire widths, boundaries or any other form of compliance with layout or design rules. So this is much more important. It does not show any wire lengths, widths, boundaries, transistor size or any other form of compliance with layout or design rules. Okay, and this is useful for interconnect and for visualization. Preliminary layout can be done and layout compaction can be performed and power ground routing can be performed. From this you can, once the stick diagram is drawn, it is easy to alter the stick diagram, then you can go for layout and go for fabrication. So that is why it's a cartoon of a layout. Okay, so for stick diagrams it's a simple, see here, for metal it is either you can follow green or blue. Here it is drawn as blue color, and for polysilicon it is red color, and for N plus diffusion it is light green color, and P diffusion it is yellow color. Or you can draw the lines with patterns. See, this dot line is for metal and straight line is for polysilicon material. This dash line is for N diffusion. This dark dash line is for P diffusion. And if you come back to a buried contact is somehow it is in N will, is it? So this is your buried contact, and for contact cut you can draw your squares and that is filled with black. Okay, so in case of stick diagram, this helps to plan the layout quickly and it is not necessary to scale it, and we can draw with color pencils or dry eraser markers. See, these are the basic patterns that can be followed for the metals that we already discussed, is it? So this is for the different layouts. And if you come back to your stick diagram, so this is the source gate in which your gate is connected to output, is it? See, the gate is connected to output of drain side. This is a depletion MOSFET. This is one such diagram that is for depletion type MOSFET that we are using, and this is your enhancement MOSFET. On this side it is source, gate and drain. Okay. See here we are using blue color for metal. Is it? Contact cuts for black color. See here it is for P diffusion it should be yellow color, right? So there is somehow a mistake is done here. See, this should be 5 volt, and here see this should be of yellow color for P MOSFET. Okay, so I'll redraw it now. See, first what I have to draw is this 5 volt is of blue color and this is also with blue color, is it? Then for contacts I need to make it square for the contact. Okay, for VDD and ground, and make a shade of it. Okay, we'll shade it. Okay, once this is done, see, once this is completed, now we need to draw for P MOSFET. See, what we have to use is P diffusion is in yellow color, is it? P diffusion is yellow color. So we need to draw a P diffusion materials. Sorry. This is the P diffusion. And for N MOSFET it is light green color. Hence choose the green color here. Okay, choose green color. Okay, this is for N MOSFET, and for polysilicon we need to choose red color, is it? So now this is your source side, this is your drain side, and now we need to draw the gate in which it is connected to drain. Hence you need to make a buried contact here. You need to make a buried contact, that will draw it later. Okay, and from here this is your gate side in which you are trying to give V in. Is it in which you are trying to give V in? Now we need to connect our drain and drain of P MOSFET using blue metal. So hence make a contact here and make a contact should be done with black color, right? So now this contact is to be done and you need to take it as an V out. Okay, V out. Okay, once this is done, see, I need to draw the contacts here. This is with black color, right? This is with black color, the contacts to be done. And here the buried contact is there. Buried contact is there. Draw correctly using the colors. And here also there is a contact for metal with N MOSFET. It is a simple stick diagram but this is drawn with the help of your depletion and enhancement MOSFET. Okay. And if you come back to a NOR gate, see here, this is the basic realization of NOR gate. Now for NOR gate, two NMOS are to be connected in parallel, see here, and two P MOSFETs are connected in series. And for the corresponding stick diagram, see for VDD and VSS drawn. Is it for the contact with P MOSFET, it is drawn in yellow color, that is contact with black color, is it, with VDD. And similarly N MOSFET is drawn with green color, see it is connected. And if you see the connections, remaining connections, see your N MOSFET A and B, your N MOSFET A and B, see here it is connected with the help of your polysilicon material. See here it is connected. And similarly for B it is connected. This is your A gate and this is your B gate. Okay. Once this is connected, you come back to your P MOSFET. See here the polysilicon material is connected accordingly. Okay. And then you are giving your inputs A and B. Similarly, this is for your NOR2 realization in your, and you are realized using stick diagram. Okay. Now another example is A dot B plus C, is it? So now you know the realization. A dot B is your A and B are connected in series in N MOSFET, and plus C is your C gate for N MOS is connected in parallel with A and B. Similarly, if you come back to your P MOSFET, see here for a reverse case, is it? P MOSFET A and B are connected in parallel and this is connected in series with C, and from here you are taking your output. Okay, now we need to draw the stick diagram. See, there is a power and ground is initially drawn. Then what we need to draw is a P MOSFET is drawn here. Is it? Then N MOSFET is drawn. Then the corresponding diagrams or corresponding polysilicon connection is drawn. Is it? For B, and then see the output is taken, and for C it is connected, and for A it is connected. In any way you can connect. It is not necessary that we have to connect in this way. See here, as this is your C, actually this is your C and this is your A and P MOSFET, is it? See, this A and B are connected to, so actually this can be at the top and C can be at the bottom, right? In any way you can draw. So this side it is source, and source it is connected to VDD, drain of A gate and B gate are connected, and it is given as a source input of C gate, and from the drain side you are taking your output. Okay, for the connections of C, A and B, we are drawing the polysilicon material for the connection of gate here. Okay, once this vertical yellow line is drawn for A, B and C, the corresponding polysilicon contacts can be drawn for A, B and C. See, for the connection with A, it should be with metal, is it? That is why it is drawn with blue color, and here the polysilicon with gate can be drawn with P MOSFET, and that should be with red color, that is of polysilicon material. Okay, the connection should be given. If you see a depth on it, you can understand what it is there. Okay, and if you see here, this is of on your N MOSFET side. See here, your B and C source is connected to ground, is it? B and C source is connected to ground. That is why, see here, it is source side is connected to ground. This side can be of drain, is it? And this side it can be a source side of A gate, and this side can be a drain. These two are interlinked. So this is for C gate. Is it C gate of your N MOSFET? Here the source is connected to ground and C gate drain is connected to the drain of your A gate, and these two are interlinked. See, this is the drain side and drain side of C gate are interlinked, and it is taken your output. Actually, this should be taken here. This line should not be extended up to this part. For convenient, it is extended, but it's not necessary to pass through this A and B gate. Is it? It should not pass through this A and B gate. Okay. You can mark the C here also. From the drain side of N MOSFET and P MOSFET, we are taking our output. This is a basic stick diagram for your realizations. Okay. What's the major points to be remember is, be creative with layouts. Sketch designs first, then minimize junctions but avoid long polylines. Have a floor plan for input, output, power and ground locations. These are the major points to be remembered while drawing your stick diagram and also for your layout. Thank you.